I think you and I are destined to do this forever.
What's up, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of C3 Comics. As always, I am the host, C3. This episode, we're going to do my full review of Black Cotton, issue number 2, written by Patrick Foreman and Brian Hawkins. And it's a really, really great book, so I'm not going to keep you guys long. We're just going to dive right in. I've been super excited about this book. So, yeah, let's talk about it. All right? So I just want to shout the guys out over there at Scout Comics for doing a really good job on this issue. I know that there are a lot of people doing a lot of reviews out there, but I encourage everybody to read the book and make up your own opinion on it, all right? So we have Black Cotton, issue number 2. As everybody knows, this is only my second time ever doing a review on a comic, so please bear with me. I just want to give my honest opinion. I do not, and my intentions are not to offend anyone in any type of way. I am just a lover of comics. When I found the first issue of this story arc, I was real intrigued by it. I really enjoyed it, and I was kind of hoping that they continued along that same pattern, because I think that there's something that lies for us in the awakening here. So I just want to talk about this comic book a little bit and where it's coming from. So we have authors Brian Hawkins and Patrick Foreman are the creators of this book. They put together a really good, aspiring comic, and I just want to speak to the individuals who are quick to pass judgment on this book so far. As you know, we're only in the second issue. Normally, as comic readers, we normally give anywhere from the first to the third, or the first to the fifth issue before we decide whether or not we want to read it. So I just really want to encourage people to be aware of those people who are just trying to detour you from reading this comic after only 2 issues. We all know that it takes time to build up into what the writer wants us to get from the comic and what they're trying to get us to understand. So just be a little leery of everybody, just of those who are trying to just persuade you to not pick up the comic at all. All right? Because in my opinion, and this is only my opinion, comic book community, this book is still off to a very decent start. Is it just nailing away at what we wanted to nail away at right off the bat? No. But I can definitely tell you that Brian and Patrick are doing a great job at taking their time with character building and world building. You know, the dialogue between characters, giving us a real chance to feel out the people who are in this comic book and what their characters may be like, who they are as people, and in the world that they are engulfed in, their position in society. You know, in this particular comic book, it is set in an alternate reality where whites are kind of like the minorities and blacks are the people of power, and particularly this family, Black Cotton, the Cotton family. They are people of prestige and power, and they find themselves in a situation to where they may be about to embark on a giant lawsuit, probably lose out in some business opportunities, you know. So it's all about that social order construct that they have going on. So I just want everybody to keep an open mind about this book, and you know, don't be afraid to learn something that others just don't want to hear about. You know, don't let someone else make up your mind for you. You know, so let's jump right in. I've done enough rambling. All right, so here we are, Black Cotton, issue number 2, written by Patrick Foreman, Brian Hawkins, and issue number 2. So here's the cover. Beautiful cover. All right. So in the beginning of the book, Black Cotton, chapter number 2, it's called The Aftershock. Right? So we know in the first issue, a black officer had shot a white woman who was out jogging for the evening. Right? Now, I will say, to my surprise, I was particularly surprised that the woman, she did not die. So I thought that was a real interesting twist also. So, and I was happy to hear that because, you get so brought down about people getting shot by the cops and they all dying. So I was particularly a little relieved, that this lady, she's at least alive. So, and that drew me in even more. So where can we go with this? Where are they going to go with this? Right? So the story is created by Patrick Foreman and Brian Hawkins. The script is by Brian Hawkins and the artwork is by Marco Perugini. Excuse me, Mr. Marco, if I butcher your name. And letters are by Francisco Zamora. All right? So it opens up with, just being in the store. You have a black store owner. You have white customers coming in. And I guess the customer feels like they're being overcharged, for some beef jerky. And it's ironic. Some of the simplest things, like, and if you're from the hood, that's what we do. We go into the bodegas and, man, we got to pay like $1.75 for a 50-cent candy bar. Quarter waters are now 75 cents. 50-cent sodas are $1.50. Price gouging, just being in the community. That's just normally what people do, So I thought they hit that right on the nail. So you have the lady. They go back to the beginning of the story. They try to give you a little backstory of what took place, what happened that night before the woman got shot. She had just left the store, so she was going out for a little jog. The officer received a call through dispatch that gave the characteristics and gave a description of the perp that they might be looking for. And I gotta say, honestly, yeah, she does fit the description, so to speak, So a lot of times we in our community, we often fit the description. The call goes out. It's normally tall black male between the height of 6'1" to 6 feet 3 inches tall, with a hoodie on, pair of jeans. So she fits the description. But the crazy thing about this is how nervous the cop is. The cop himself is actually very, very nervous about what's going on, he gives the feel like he may not have been a veteran on the police force. He may have been a rookie himself. He found himself in a situation that he was uncomfortable with. He had no partner. So what happens is, he winds up shooting this lady, because he was nervous and he was afraid and she turned around too fast, so he winds up shooting this lady. So it goes from then and then it goes to now. So she wakes up in the hospital to the sounds of her parents and their lawyers talking about what happened and how they're going to make the officer pay for what he did to their daughter, right? And I thought that was really, really good as well. The fact that she survived the shooting and that she is alive to even breathe, and the lawyer and the family members are going back and forth about how he's going to make them pay. But the father definitely lets him know that, hey, listen, this isn't about the money. This is my child. This is my daughter who almost lost her life. And the mother chimes in. Yeah, the mother even says, thank God that my daughter is alive, because she may not have even been alive if God had not wanted, So I just really appreciate how Patrick and Brian try to give you an opportunity to learn the characters, the players in this story. You know what I mean? And gives you an understanding of, as people, who they are. It's real easy for us to what's the word I'm looking for? It's real easy for us to downplay one another, to discard who we are as people. You know what I mean? Just because if I may not be brought up in the manner that you're brought up in, you may feel as if you are better than me, or I feel like because you don't have what I have, I'm better than you. So the character building and the time that they're taking to allow you to read, and the way the wording is set, that gives you an understanding of the attitude and the personality of the characters in this book. So I really appreciate how they took the time to do that. And again, she's alive. And at this moment, I would have to say, from where I sit in any occasion, that's all that matters at that time, that she's alive. And, she may not be doing all that well, but she is alive. And yeah, you have to be thankful for that. So, and we turn to the next page, and oh boy, we find ourselves, I guess we're at the gym with the officer who actually committed the shooting. So at this point, in reality, we would probably view this as it was an attempted murder, But he's trying to work some things out. He's in the gym. He's boxing. He's trying to blow off some steam. He's all confused about what took place. He doesn't understand where he's going from here. So he's trying to work it out. So he winds up pounding away at the guy that he's in the ring with. He hits him a little hard. So they kind of go at it a little bit, But I really, really commend the artist with the way they portrayed the character, and it spoke to his attitude of what's taking place. It really, really paints a picture of who Z is. It really paints a picture of his attitude and what he may be going through after the shooting. Because a lot of us, we tend to fall in line, we tend to think that that cops don't have feelings, they don't have emotion, or they don't think about what they did. So this kind of speaks to that. And so he's in there, he's working it out. He hits his boy a little hard. They tend to go at it. Let me flip the page for you. So they have to be broken up. And I'm loving the artwork. The artwork just flows along with the storyline. Shout out to the artist on the book, because he's definitely doing the dialogue some justice. It's flowing right along with the storyline. So you see them, they have to be broken up. Z is off his rocker, but I love what the fellow officer said to him. He says, "This is how you are. This is how you shot the girl." And Z is like, "What?" He says, "Black privilege at its best. You think you can do anything and get away with it." So just think about that. Think about that. Think about the mindset of what's going on. Think about the atmosphere in the police station amongst coworkers, amongst fellow officers. They call it the blue wall. But not everybody agrees with what takes place. You know what I mean? And yeah, some do feel that others believe that they are more privileged than others because of who they are, because of their positions in society. So I think the writers did an excellent story, an excellent job at giving us an opportunity to understand, getting a better understanding of the characters, So I'm really enjoying this story, and I can't encourage others enough to, grab the story, give it time, because I'm sure that there is something at the end of this that we can all take home with us. All right. So after the little battle at the gym, they shake it off, they apologize, and the sister shows up. And she's going to drive him home. They greet each other, Black Cotton, and he's like, "Yeah, Black Cotton, whatever." And she's like, "Oh, that's all you got for me? After I'm out here, I'm trying to fight for you and clear our family name, and that's all you got for me?" So I read somewhere that individuals feel like the dialogue between the sister and the brother is unnecessary. But I beg to differ. The dialogue is very necessary, because if you know us as a people, and I'm speaking of black people, if you know us, our siblings, like, it's very difficult for us to speak to each other. It's very difficult to us to share our emotion with one another. So the fact that she's working diligently to get her brother out of trouble and to clear her family's name speaks to the love she has for her family. But Z's inability to speak to his sister about what she's doing, it also speaks to his character and because he is ashamed of what he did. You may not be able to see this right now, but Z is not happy about what he did. And he is by no means taking it lightly. He doesn't know how to deal with it. As a black man, he doesn't know how to express that. He hasn't figured out a way to put it into words yet. So he's retreated within himself. Man, I'm loving this story. I think this is by far one of the best stories that I've read in 2020. I know we're only a few months in, but 2020 is off to a good start, and this is one of the better reads. This is definitely by far starting off to be a very, very good book. I just hope Patrick and Brian can keep this pace up. All right, so pay attention to the dialogue, and trust me when I tell you, every conversation in this comic is necessary. It's necessary to your understanding. It's necessary for you getting the understanding that you need. You know, so definitely just flow with it. And I also love how, you know, after the conversation, again, rich, wealthy people, they want us to know that. Look at the car that they jumped in. Right? Look at the car that they jumped in. So they wanted you to know, you know, police officer, you know, but he doesn't have to be a police officer. He's probably being told, you know, that you have to work, you know, so you can watch how or understand how these kids are being raised, you know. Even though they're wealthy, they still have to find something to do that they can call their own. They still have to work. Find a job. I don't care what you do. Find something to do and do it to the best of your ability. That's how you bring your kids up. You know what I mean? In order not just say mommy and daddy's going to give you everything just because we have it. So from where I come from, that speaks volumes also. So because, you know, my parents always, they took great care of me, but they always made me work for what I wanted. And I try to share that with my kids as well. Is that even though mommy and daddy's going to take care of you, you're also going to take care of yourself. And I'm going to show you how to do that, you know. So beautiful car, you know, they're driving home. Look at this big, beautiful house. And I love the simplicity of the artwork, the light shading, the line work, you know, not too glamorous, but perfect for the story. You know, it keeps everything at an even kill, you know, so you can see, but it also challenges you, you know, the artwork challenges you to understand the difference in levels that people live in society. You know what I mean? So nice, very, very nice house. You know, all these different angles on there. You look at the architectural structure, and you could tell that, you know, that house costs to build. You know, those type of angles, those angles don't come cheap. So, I'm excited about this book, and I think the guys are doing a good job at it. You know, so they reach home, and you know, so you have the parents here, and they greet each other again. Black Cotton, she was Black Cotton, Black Cotton lover. You know, one of our sons, you know, Rich Black, has just shot a middle-class white woman. You know, so they're discussing on how society is not letting this go. And if you can see that they're in this living area, and they're watching the TV, and you know, the father's keeping up with what's going on. The mom's keeping up with what's going on. As powerful and prestigious as they are, they know that this can turn bad. And the father is not just concerned about his riches or his wealth, but he's also concerned about his family name. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but it doesn't matter what you have in life. If your name is tainted in any way, you can't have much of nothing. Like our world, our society is based upon your name, your ability to sign your name on a dotted line. That's what gets you what you want. So I totally get where Patrick and Brian are coming from when they lay this stuff out there, man. And I want to read this bottom part to you. It says, because we're Cottons, they know we're better than them. They're right. We are. You know what I mean? Like, so no dialogue is unnecessary. Listen to how the mother is speaking. They know we're Cottons. They know we're better than them. Listen to the mindset. It's ridiculous, right? So you have individuals thinking like their money sets them apart. Their money makes them better. Their power makes them better. And their attitude is, and her attitude specifically is they'll take the big payoff and go away. But I love how it is being written, because you could tell that the big payoff is not going to make this go away. This is not just about the money. And the family is seeking justice in a manner that money is not the answer. You know, so I definitely appreciate that. So I'm breaking it all down. as we flip to the next page, the son, Xavier. I want you guys to pay particular attention to X, because X is on the move. He's been quiet, but he's on the move and he's up to something. So you want to keep an eye on Xavier, right? And he says, I have some people digging into the girl's past. This is what the mom is saying, and this is what they normally do a lot. Whenever you find yourself in the midst of a shooting, what they normally do to the victim is they start digging in the victim's past to try to dig up as much dirt as they can on the victim, and that way when they do speak about it in the media, they bring up all this negative stuff about the person to make it appear as if, well, that person deserved what happened to them. So listen, man, just an excellent story. Just excellent on how they're speaking about true things that happen in real life, and trying to shape the world's opinion and try to shape the opinion of how we should feel about this young lady that was shot. So they're going to dig into her past. They're going to go all on her Facebook page. They're going to check anything that she's done for the past 10 to 20 years and try to make her look like she was a bad guy. She was a bad lady, So just between that alone and keeping an eye on the son Xavier, you could tell, Patrick Foreman and Brian Hawkins really have big things planned for this story. So we're going to go to the next page, right? And as you can see, the younger son, Xavier, he gets off the bus and he meets up with friends. And man, when I saw this, I was like, ooh. When I saw this, man, I knew it was going down. So Xavier has hooked up with his buddies, and his buddies, they remind me of the youth of today. It's got to stop. All this senseless killing of white people for no reason, just being shot down in the streets, it's got to stop. You flip it back, it's the same way it's going on today. And I know a lot of you, we read comics because we want to escape reality. But I'm going to tell you honestly, it's definitely okay if someone can take a story that's happening in modern times and give it to us in a way that we can receive it without being offended by it. I think that takes really, really great talent in order to do that. And I think that's what Patrick and Brian have done. They have taken a story, a very volatile story, a hot topic that no one wants to touch, and they decided to create a comic book about it and share what's going on with us. And I think if we could, we dive into comics. Like if it's a first appearance, our superheroes, our Batmans, our Robins, our Supermans, our Wonder Womans, we love our superheroes. If we could put that much energy into loving and collecting, why can't we put just a smidgen of energy into understanding what's going on in the real world and taking the necessary steps to dialogue about it so we could present change? What would be the harm in that? It's one thing for us to love comics because it is an escape for us, but it takes a real talented individual to spark a dialogue about something that is affecting each and every one of us in society today. So I really love how Xavier meets up with his buddies, and Xavier is like, yo, I know that's my brother and that's my family, but man, this mess gotta stop. So I think Xavier's he's about to lead the charge, and as they dig up dirt on the lady, I think Xavier's gonna be sharing some dirt of his own that'll help this little organization get at his family, man. So, I'm excited about this book. And I'm not gonna just spoil it all for you. I will, because I want you guys to read this for yourselves, and then feel free to chime in the comments and let me know what you think. But here's what I like, and this is what I want to speak to. Z is troubled by what happened. He has not, and I repeat, he has not taken shooting this lady lightly. He's troubled by it. He's uncomfortable in his own skin, right? So he's trying to figure it out. At first, I thought he was going to the rooftop to off himself. I was like, that's not how you do it, you know. But he finally realized that that's not the way. So when I saw that leg go up there, I was like, oh, here comes the birdie. But it didn't happen. And I was happy that he didn't choose to take the easy way out, because that's the easy way. You try to take the easy way out instead of trying to face the consequences of your actions. So again, kudos to the creators of the comic, you know, for keeping it 100 and making sure that things get seen the way it needs to be seen. But what I do like is this. I'm going to switch you down. Look to the bottom panel. See that panel on the bottom? Z's going to the hospital. He's going to visit that young lady. And I can't imagine what that conversation is going to be like. But I can't wait to hear about it. He's going to visit the young lady that he shot. And I can't say, man, just that gesture in itself helps me understand how remorseful and how sorry he is for what he did to that young lady. I'm not saying it makes it all right and it's going to make everything go away. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that he has a heart and he cares about what he did. You know? So I'll let you guys read it and make up your own assumptions, make up your own mind from there. All I'm saying to you is Brian Hawkins, Patrick Foreman, excellent job. In my eyes, in my opinion. I'm loving the story. I'm going to keep reading it. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. You know what I always say. Keep it moving. Keep it coming. Keep it going. But no matter what, keep it comics. Peace.